Coming up on today's Co-Bet Daily, a quick early look at all the betting gear that you need for the AFL and NRL Grand Finals. Alex, what's your favourite look so far?
Thinking Josh Dunkley for the Norm Smith.
Really?
Ooh, yeah.
Sure. Stats guy, what about you?
Brisbane to take out both codes.
I think you're both wrong. I don't know where, but probably. Either way, check it out. It's Co-Bet Daily. It's really good. Welcome to Co-Bet Daily. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, September 27, a.k.a. the Wednesday before the Grand Finals. Both of them. AFL and NRL. How good is that? I'm your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website. And a surprise twist, it's called CodeBet. You can find that at codebet.com.au. And you'll also find a huge array of breakdowns of both of these grand finals. And that's why I'm joined by the punters today. We've got Alex Donnelly over there.
Yeah, up and about, learning to get the microphone out of my face after 204 episodes. So we're getting there.
Nice.
I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, Dad.
AKA words you've never heard Tim Donnelly say.
No, he did when I told him to buy a $7,000 horse and it's won 150.
There you go.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
We've also got Stats Guy here too.
I want to get a horse like that. I've got my hearing back, so I'm ready to go now.
Yeah, his ear just popped.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. This show's going to be better.
Righto, but that's it. We're going to do Code Early Grand Final Looks Daily. Just a quick show today where we're literally just going to talk about both of those grand finals. You've both written an early look piece.
Yep.
So that's what it says on the tin. It's codes, it's betting is daily. We're talking two codes, AFL and NRL. Talking about the bets that we're going to make on a daily basis.
A lot of bets.
So let's get into it. Nothing else. We're just going to talk grand finals.
So just hit this one.
Just do
What's
it.
your best match or game pick?
What is your best match or game pick? So looking at it right now, Collingwood versus Brisbane for the AFL. Collingwood are $1.75 favourites, Brisbane are $2.10. In the NRL, we have Penrith, Brisbane. Penrith are $1.62, $2.50. So Brisbane, the Broncos version, are the rankest of outsiders in these four teams.
Yeah.
And it feels kind of weird because I don't know if they really ought to be that much because you've got the 1 and 2 top-ranked offense and defense in the NRL Grand Finals, whereas at least Brisbane, you saw Collingwood with the top-ranked defense for much of the year. You had Brisbane with the top-ranked offense for much of the year.
Yeah.
Whereas like the sort of extraneous parts aren't quite as good.
Yeah.
And so it shouldn't be maybe as
Just coming down
close
to
as it is.
experience and back-to-back.
Whereas
obviously.
Penrith is just like, we've won two on the trot. We're going for a three-peat. Hasn't been done since
1983.
That's unreal.
Jeez, I can't believe I remember that one.
Never
very
been
proud.
done in the National Rugby League era.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
So let's start, shall we, with the NRL Grand Final. Stats Guy, you wrote this piece, the NRL early betting tips and odds. The line is 3.5.
It's moved in the last day.
It has.
Which is weird because Herbie Farnworth apparently tore his hamstring yesterday.
Yeah.
But then again, this is a team from Queensland making up bull dust at the week of the
he
big
could
game.
just come back
State of
there
Origin
and-
happens every year, so I'm just like, he's probably fine.
Yeah.
Nice one. But you've got a team that's won 2 grand finals back-to-back.
Yep.
But I think the big thing coming out of this is that we want to go unders, I feel, is the vibe.
That's what I'm leaning towards. A couple of the other ones only totaled around that 30 to 35 mark, their last two meetings. And the over-under is, 38. So I just feel like that's a bit of a jump, and especially when you've got two really strong defenses. I think defense in these sort of big finals takes over that offense, even though they're also the two best offenses, which is the one there. It's hard to go in between that. But yeah,
tough
I'm going to lean
balance.
towards the under.
Alex, how are you feeling about this one?
I'm just leaning towards the Panthers just in general with the big game experience, their record at a core stadium over the past 4 to 5 years, and the fact that they've won 5 of their last 6 against the Broncos. Just they know what they have to do to get it done. It's very simple, whereas Brisbane, because it's their first grand final in so long, they may try, something expansive you don't know. But it's like, Panthers like, we've been here before. Cool.
So first grand final since 2015.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
Broncos?
Yeah, because you had a bunch of Roosters and Storm in there. Yeah. Parramatta was thrown into one as well, and South. So, yeah.
So Penrith won last year 28-12.
Yep.
So that's your 40-point mark. I'm good at maths. And the year before, Penrith 14-12 over South.
Yep.
I think it's going to be more like that type of game. Probably a bit more scoring than that. But
The chaos thing is I feel like grand finals are like, it alternates basically going low scoring, low scoring, low scoring, high scoring, low scoring, low scoring, high scoring, low scoring, high scoring, low scoring, low scoring. Because I think we've gone 28-12, 14-12, 26-20,
Yeah,
14.
Penrith was in that one too. So this
Exactly.
is Penrith's 4th grand final in a row.
Yep.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And so two of those
Two of the three
have already actually hit over.
Yeah.
But this is probably the best defense they've played in this stretch, right?
Yeah.
Like, they've been
The
absolutely
hold
dominant.
on. The two at a core stadium have gone over.
Oh,
okay.
interesting.
Haven't looked into that one yet.
There we go.
Yeah, because the 14-12 was at Suncorp.
So what are you leaning towards then?
I'm leaning towards Penrith at the line. That's my starting point.
Yeah.
Penrith have won 9 of their last 11 at a core stadium. The average winning margin is 15.7 points. Their 2 losses at a core stadium have a combined total of 8.
Ooh,
Yeah. Penrith.
Wow.
not bad.
Yeah.
What about you there, Stats guy?
I've been saying Broncos all year, and I'm not going to turn back just because it's the grand final now. I know that Penrith have the experience, but Broncos have the belief. They did beat them earlier in the season. Not many.
That was round 1.
I know, but there's
round
belief there.
Spot the lie.
I don't,
It was earlier
I
in the
just, I just
season.
said earlier.
Come
I
on.
forgot it was round 1. I thought it was like
Yeah.
round 3 or something. But yeah, round 1. I know it was a long time ago, but there's just going to be a really, really close matchup. And if it's going to be a really close matchup, I don't mind the 3.5. I know that's a really short line. Just think they just match up really evenly. And this is the only team in the whole season that can beat Penrith. So yeah, going to lean towards Broncos in this one.
I mean, Penrith did lose to West Tigers and Bathurst.
Yeah, that was just an outlier game. Yeah.
We've got some try scorer bets that you like.
Yeah, I like Sanaya Taruva. He's been absolutely awesome over the last couple of months, probably. He's scored 5 tries across the last 3 games alone, and just proving to be a big game player, lifting in the finals. So $2.40 to score. Anytime try is really good there. So, yeah, I'm leaning towards him for the Panthers. And then for the Broncos, Selwyn Cobbo. We've talked about him a lot on our co-bet shows. He's been absolutely awesome, leading the way. 20 tries in 23 games. Absolutely awesome record for the Broncos. $2.35. So I like those guys around that $2.30, $2.40. I think you got 2-0 is...
He scored the first try in both finals.
I don't mind him for first try, but there's just a bit less value there under the $2. So those guys over the $2.30 mark, pretty good.
Nice one. And you've got, in terms of the other try scorers for Penrith, you got Crichton.
Yep.
He's at 255 as well, which I don't mind. It's a bit of a tricky one the rest of the way, though, right? Like Brisbane, I feel like share the
Dylan
love.
Edwards crashing over.
Sorry?
Dylan Edwards crashing over.
Yeah, and he's at, 315. So
Cleary, probably a bit of value as well, just a big game player as well.
Nah, he's set up player. It's just like
You reckon
it's
he'll
the
just set up?
full-on
Yeah, okay.
quarterback vibe.
Yep.
Short one off dummy half. One of the props crashes over. Yeah.
Yeah.
but otherwise for Brisbane, you've got, so Cobbo is
And your pronouns.
favourite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tony and Stags.
Katoni and Stags. So not bad. Katoni Stags, $3.60. I might have a little bit of a sneaky look at that one. Otherwise, Jesse Arthurs has been really good this season. Reece Walsh, obviously.
Reece Walsh.
Oh,
He
bit
had
of a
3 assists
superstar.
last week. I think sort of like what Alex just said about Cleary. I think he's going to set up a lot and it'll be that last pass, but I don't think he's going to be the scorer.
Nice one. All right. Any other bets that are standing out early bells for this NRL Grand Final?
I mean, if Penrith are going to win it, it's going to be on the back of Nathan Cleary dominating it to take the $3.50 about him to win the Clive.
Ooh, nice.
And then, if I'm leaning towards Brisbane, so I'm going to lean towards Reece Walsh. I'm not sure what
He's
price is he?
$6.50. They're the 2 favourites,
Yeah.
but it's like the most obvious thing. That's the thing about the
they
NRL.
win, yeah.
If they win, their best player has played the best.
Yeah.
And it's pretty simple. It's not like in the AFL where all of a sudden Isaac Smith has 35 and kicks 3 and you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, usually the setup player, especially Reece Walsh, he was best on
or a
last week.
fullback or a winger that scored a bunch of tries. It's
Yeah.
like one of those things. It's never like a prop who's made 67 hit-ups.
Yeah, what's Reece Walsh's price actually? Why you got it up?
$6.50.
$6.50. Yeah, I really like that as well because you get a bit better value.
I reckon Reynolds
Yeah.
over Reece Walsh personally.
Okay,
right.
he was really good last week as well.
This is a fascinating setup because I love the idea of the winning margin for this. I'm like, I feel like if the Broncos win, it's by 1 to 12.
Yeah.
If Penrith win, it could easily by 13 plus.
They're just like,
And you're
probably like just a
what
random-
has just happened? I don't know
Yeah.
what is just going on. But Penrith, they could just choke the life out of this Brisbane team and run over the top of them. And you're like, yep, checks out. 3-peat team.
So
Boom.
Penrith 13 plus in the over.
Yeah. You'd sort of lump on both of those, I think, and away you go. But Stats Guy likes Brisbane.
Yeah,
and at the line.
I liked them all
so
season. I'm not going to back down now.
Brisbane 1 to 12 is $3.25. You go Brisbane 1 to 20, 1 to 12 and the under.
Penrith 13 plus in the over is $5.40.
Oh, might be on that one.
I reckon it could come down to extra time as well. Just like overtime, get really close win. That's why I don't mind the plus 3.5. Just because if it's going to be really close, even 3.5 is not a bad line.
Nice. In terms of the Broncos' defense, we know they've been pretty good all season. They
It looked a bit shaky
were
last
really
week.
good in the finals, though.
Yeah.
But the craziest part is they've given up 12 points across the 2 finals. Penrith have given up 10.
10, yeah. It's crazy. That's why I'm
So what
going the
are we
under.
doing here?
That's
This
why I'm
is
going the under.
incredible.
Yeah.
So they're just like the immovable object versus the unstoppable force, and we're going to go unders, I reckon. Nice one.
Cool.
Code bet, AFL Grand Final, early looks. Alex, you wrote this article. How are you feeling about Collingwood versus Brisbane? I mentioned the prices, $1.75 to $2.10 at the moment. We've been talking about this on the Daily Show prior already, but take us through it.
Yeah, so the first look is the over-unders because it's like you've got two ways of looking at this. You think if Collingwood get the game that they want, it's hitting unders very clearly.
Yep.
If Brisbane get the game that they want and then the game that they've had against Collingwood the last 2 times that they've played them, this is going over and well over, and we're in for one of the most entertaining grand finals ever. It's meant to be, it's 2 short kicks away. It is meant to be perfect weather and stinking hot.
Yeah,
stinking hot.
Yeah, it's going to be like 30 degrees.
Sounds like good tin weather.
Yeah, it's a great day for tins.
Weather.
But if you have a look, so in the last 4 games that these two played, they've hit the over of this mark. One of the ones that didn't was a 72-73 win, which was like Easter Thursday 2021, and that was 140-something points. Brisbane in 4 of their last wins over Collingwood kicked 142, 98, 116, and 124 points. They've won. They've got a ridiculous record. They've won 6 in a row against Collingwood. Oh, but Alex, it's not at the MCG. Don't care. They've been winning. Like, it's one game of football. I feel like Brisbane's attacking prowess, and it's going to be something I've got to do the Why Brisbane Will Win article.
Yep.
And I've sort of half started. Brisbane have got 6 players in their team that have kicked 20 or more goals this year. Collingwood has 3.
Oof.
Wow.
Brisbane has 3 players who have kicked 40 or more goals this year. Collingwood has 1.
Yeah.
Not great. Collingwood's all of a sudden, like, that free-flowing offense that we've seen all year has just dried up.
The last couple of months has really dried up,
They've got a couple of games that have scored over 100. I think Brisbane have kicked over 111 times this year to Collingwood's 10.
Oh, okay.
So it's like,
Not
you've
that
got
bad.
there. But Brisbane overall, when they get going, it's Brisbane shooting out and just running away
that's like
with it.
Brisbane can push for 110, 120, whereas Collingwood around their max is around that. Yeah, high 90s.
Even last week for Brisbane, after quarter time, they scored 70 points. So they played good footy for 3 quarters and scored 70 points compared to what they let Carlton score. What was it, 30 points?
33, basically. Well, 32, I think, after quarter time.
Something like that. So choked the life out of them.
31,
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
something
5
like
goals.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas Collingwood's wins have been 60 to 53 and 58, 57. Like, it's...
You're not worried about the idea, though. So we saw Brisbane run into the teeth of a Carlton defence that was obviously really good as well for the back half of the season, and they managed only 79 at home.
No, because they'd done enough to win. Halfway through that last quarter, it was game over. It really wasn't like...
Carlton was still pushing. I mean, the death knell was there, obviously.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm worried about of Collingwood's defence is Darcy Moore. I know he's probably going to get some injections into his ankle, but I don't know if he's going to be 100%.
So that hasn't been talked about, but I'm not worried about it. It's more just like, if goals flow, Brisbane can kick a lot of them very quickly, and that's the biggest worry for Collingwood. Like, they've held up against a Melbourne forward line that can't kick goals.
That's the biggest worry?
Well, no, but they've held up against a Melbourne forward line that was terrible most of the year. A GWS forward line that had not Toby Green, but Riccardi and Hogan, who aren't, let's be honest, they're not scary. Now you've got Hipwood, Danaher.
Hogan kicked 20 goals last week.
I know.
What are you talking about?
But when you think about the scheme of things compared to this forward line of Brisbane's, that's the worry.
Of course, number one.
Whereas
offense.
Collingwood, their inside run from De Goey and the Daykai, that's going to get them the win. They've got to sort of explode out of contest, whereas if it's just end-to-end football, Brisbane would just have too much pace for them.
Yeah. I like the over.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm going to go because I feel like the game script goes towards Brisbane's way. If it's a beautiful, nice, sunshiny day,
More Brisbane-like conditions, maybe.
Brisbane have won, however, one of their past 15 games at the MCG.
It scares me. That just scares me to bet on. Yeah.
Almost. That's not many.
No.
Out of 15.
Even the Hawks beat
In
them.
fact, it's only 1. Like, what are we doing? And the crazy thing is, they won a final last year. The thing is, the only team they might play well at the G is Melbourne.
Is Melbourne. They
because
actually
they lost by 1 point against them this year. They beat them
them
last year. But they got absolutely smoked by Hawthorn.
That's why
But
the
Hawthorn did that. Hawthorn smashed Collingwood by how much, Leo?
32.
There you go. Bang.
32.
Thank you, Leo. I knew he'd know that off the top of his head.
Off the top of his big old box.
Yeah.
over there.
But also, Brisbane probably should have beaten Richmond as well in round 20 last year.
Should have. But
But I'm saying it's not like
Did they?
But it's not like they played terrible at the ground.
They
just crumbled in the
have
last quarter.
some
I'm more
terrible
concerned-
showings though.
Yeah, but
I'd be much more worried if
it's
they were
been-
like losing like close games, but they do have these games where they lay up absolute massive stinkers.
Yeah.
So I just like that's always going to be in the back of my head. But I will.
Same.
Look, I think I'm still going to go the over. I think it plays to their game script. It plays to their strengths. I like the midfield. we know that Brisbane are flat track bullies, and this will be a pretty flattish kind of track, I reckon, in terms of a grand final where a lot of the crowd will be against you, but
not really
conditions will
given
be
the allocation.
17,000.
Yeah, the corporate, buddy.
But I think just the conditions and everything will be just like perfect, and I think Brisbane should be all right. I'm probably going to go Brisbane at the line, plus 4.5.
Oh, yeah.
Because even if Collingwood do just somehow just like drag
they love a
this in the
close
mark,
game, yeah.
like they'll win by 2, and it'll be like, oh, that was the greatest grand final we've ever seen. It's like, all right, was it? Really?
There was
Maybe
20
perhaps?
goals. It wasn't.
Anyway, so I think that's where I land. Any goal kickers, any disposal bets that you're leaning towards so far?
Stats guy, you're doing the disposals.
Who am I looking at? I was looking at Tom Mitchell, actually. He's probably been an underrated player for the Pies. First half of the season, he was a bit in and out of the side. He was the sub a couple of games, but it's probably the last couple of months or so, he's been one of their best ball winners. He averages 33 disposals against the Lions, which is a lot, obviously, and had 31 against them, which was just over a month ago in their last meeting. I think Brisbane, just not a team that really likes to tag. 6 of Brisbane's last 7 games, they've had a player against them collect 30 or more disposals. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but not every game has that 30 plus disposals on your opposition. And if anyone's going to get that 30 plus, Titch, he's not going to be the most damaging like Dacos or DeGoey or things like that.
26 handballs.
He had 26 handballs in a 35 disposal game if he's going to do that. So yeah, I'm going to go him.
Alex is disgusted.
Yeah, I just think, he's
handballs.
not the most damaging player going around, but 30 plus at $4.50 I think is really good value with his record against the Lions. And they're not going to tag. If they're going to tag anyone, not that Brisbane do, but if they're going to tag anyone, it's probably going to be like DeGoey or something like that. So 30 plus $4.50 is my favorite.
They'll back themselves in.
They'll back themselves. So yeah, that's why I think he's just going to get a lot of free handballs. So
Yeah.
God, I love to go to win the Norm Smith.
Speaking of Jordan DeGoey, 2+ goals.
Ooh.
In 10 games against Brisbane, he's kicked 20.
It's almost like someone pointed you towards that.
Yeah, that's right. He's only got 5 goals in his last 6, but he was clearly the best player on the ground last Friday.
He was amazing.
34 touches, no goals, but it was just everywhere. Given he's got 20 in 10 against Brisbane, who says he's not going to kick a couple of goals. Also, big game, stepping up once again. It's $3.60 to kick 2 goals.
That's so good.
Yeah.
25 and 2, and then you could probably also lay off him with a Norm Smith.
Yeah.
And go bang.
Yeah.
Big game player, loves Barley. I don't know. In terms of a Brisbane Norm Smith medalist, how do you see that? Like, if we're talking about how Brisbane don't cover and it goes over, who do we think wins? It would be hilarious if Lachie Neale came out and had like a 20 disposal game and somehow got the
they're like, we love that guy. He used to do that.
But obviously this is voted on by the media, so it's a little bit different. So
that's why it'd be even funnier.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's like, we got the Brown though, we better give him the Norm Smith too. He's awesome.
For Brisbane,
John Ralph was like 10 votes.
I got a couple of different ones. I won't be surprised if someone like a Harris Andrews wins it just floating across halfback.
Like a Brian Lake Norm Smith.
Yeah, takes 20 intercept marks because there's no Dan McStone. It's like Mason Cox. Nice. But also like Josh Dunkley or Chucky Cameron.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I don't mind McCluggage. He was probably...
McCluggage was actually where I was landing to.
I was thinking that, but I've seen way too many people talk up Hugh McCluggage.
It's just because he dominated in that first final. I think he's very underrated. So
he's good.
If you're talking about votes in the Brown, he probably didn't get many because he's not one of those big name players.
But
it's something where the media sees him. He's had 25-2. He's had 5 goal assists. It's like I reckon he was everywhere.
And a guy that's going to be attacking as well. If he gets a goal in like your 25, I reckon he could be right up. So $12. Yeah.
Cameron at 23. Obviously, if he gets 4 or 5,
we talked about that last year.
I love that. And then the one that I really, really kind of dig is Zach Bailey randomly getting like 15, 17, 18 touches, but kicking like 3 or 4 goals.
Which is really funny because in the goals bet, which should be up anytime soon on CodeBet, the recommended bet for Zach Bailey, no bet on his goals because in finals, like Jamie Elliott, goes to water.
Absolute chaos. Okay. There you go. Maybe I'll steer clear of Zach Bailey then at his $34.
What do you have? Last time he had 18 disposals, 2 goals against Collingwood.
MCG, 5 goals in 8 games against Collingwood. He only averages 1 a game.
Interesting.
Okay.
There you go. Dunkley, Neale, they're the shortest price.
I like crisp.
Like obviously, Nick Dacos is someone you're going to talk about. Everyone can tip you Nick Dacos because he has 35 and kicks 2 and he's like,
he wasn't that damaging first game back last week, so I don't really
he
want
had
him.
28. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like, being at the ground watching him, he's not like 18 or 19.
Yeah, he wasn't as attacking or damaging 28
He
as
played off
usually.
a half-forward flank, which was interesting.
So if you're going to lead anyone from Collingwood, I'd rather DeGoey than Nick Dacos.
All right, well, quick first picks before we do the actual big AFL show on Thursday and our live stream on the game day.
Wait, we're doing a live stream?
Yes. Yes, we are. So
For the game or?
for the game, it's going to be we're going to do a pre-show live stream. Just relax, jeez. Just
It's like
throwing him under the
it's
bus.
like you
He's
shot
just
someone. Alex was ready to
I may
explode.
have plans on Saturday.
he's got 87 tins under the belt already. I think at that point.
What a beer.
I'm going to go. So for NRL, I'm going to go. I think Penrith, and I'll go the over.
Yep.
Stats guy.
I'm going to go Brisbane at the line plus 3.5.
I'm going Penrith minus 3.5.
Nice. AFL, I'm going to go Brisbane with the plus. What's the line sitting at the moment?
4.5.
4.5. I'm going to go Brisbane plus 4.5, and I'll go the over 165.5 too.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Oh, Alex, you go.
I'm going to go Brisbane, and at the moment I'm leaning to the 1-39 margin as well, and that's
Oh, I haven't had a look
$2.55.
Interesting. Stats guy.
That was 55. Ooh, I'm just going to go Brisbane head to head. Don't want to worry about margins or
Once
lines
again,
or
we
anything.
all go against Collingwood.
Yeah, I know, which is surprising. But yeah, Brisbane head to head.
unconscious bias there.
I think they're the better team. It's just they would be favourites if there was any ground in the world other than the MCG.
But you
So,
see, Stats Guy, the
it
grand
is.
final is at
I
the
know,
MCG.
it's always at the MCG.
There you go. All right, that's it. Co-Bet Daily done for today. We'll be back on deck tomorrow. There is an AFL show, an NRL show, an EPL show as well, all coming out across the next couple of days to set you up with all of the in-depth breakdowns of the grand finals and, of course, match week 7 of EPL. NFL Australia came out last night as well. That was a really good episode, breaking down week 3, the Taylor Swift week, and
Yeah, apparently.
NBA Australia will be back soon. Hold All Tickets is taping tomorrow morning too.
Yep.
Good times.
Big weekend. Group 1 racing Friday, Saturday, and Group 3 racing on Sunday at Sandown.
Nice.
Wow.
So subscribe to all of those on your podcast apps, like, review, and star them all. And jugs to follow across all the socials, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Threads. But I think that's it. Thank you, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Cheers, Jim.
Thanks to Geraldinho over there for producing, and social guy Leo for chiming in with some good little Hawthorn tidbits there. Who would have thought in a grand final show? Either way, what do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, keep your ears out there for all the big grand final shows. It's going to be awesome. AFL and NRL Grand Final shows coming up. They're going to be pretty good. Enjoy it. And, of course, read all the breakdowns at gobet.com.au. That's it for Go Bet Daily. We'll catch you tomorrow. May your picks come in. Happy punting. Go Bet Daily. Out.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.